The current theory of real numbers cannot justify itself. Now, let's talk about the first question. The modern mainstream mathematicians claim that the real number theory is rigorous and complete because it's based on scientific limit theory. The scientificity of the limit theory is indubitable because it's based on the rigorous and complete real number theory. Taken alone, these two sentences are unassailable, but put together they contradict each other. We will elaborate below. N is a sequence, and O is a real number. If n can be arbitrarily close to as n increases, we say that A is a limit of the sequence, and only when E exists can we say that the limit of n is A. However, when defining real numbers, Bolzano and Weierstrass, as well as Mere, Heine and Cantor had hold the same idea. They all define the real number system on the basis of the limit theory. Cantor, for example, defined a real number as equivalent to a fundamental sequence. Obviously, a sequence of numbers is different with a real number. Take the square root of 2 and the sequence 1, 1.4, 1.41, 1.414 as an example. The square root of 2 is static while the sequence 1, 1.4, 1.41, 1.414 is dynamic. Their relationship is in the sequence 1, 1, 4, 1.41, 1.414 keeps getting closer and closer to the square root of 2. However, due to the defects of the current number point model, number after number can be inserted between any two numbers. That is to say, no matter how close a number in this sequence is to the square root of 2, there are always infinite numbers between it and the square root of 2. Therefore, the dynamic approximation process is infinite, and it will never reach the square root of 2 itself. It is easy to see that the square root of 2 is the limit of the sequence 1, 1.4, 1.41, 1.414, rather than the sequence itself, or the equivalence class represented by this sequence. As we can see, in order to define real number system by equivalent fundamental sequences, the limits of those fundamental sequences must be pre-existing. To sum up, it is impossible to talk about limit without the existence of real numbers, and it is impossible to define real numbers without the existence of limit, which is the contradiction that current real number theory and the limit theory cannot overcome. Someone may say that Dedekind didn't use the limit theory to construct real numbers. However, his method is incapable of constructing the whole real number system. Dedekind said, whenever, then, we have to do with a cut which is not produced by rational numbers, we create a new, an irrational number alpha, which we regard as completely defined by this cut. The hypocrisy of the so-called Dedekind cuts lies in that this method can only construct real numbers of which the characteristics have already been known. In fact, we know little about the numbers except the algebraic ones. For example, we don't know how many categories the transcendental numbers can be divided into and what characteristics each category has. Therefore, the Dedekind cuts method is infeasible for numbers of which the characteristics are unknown. It is groundless to construct real numbers in this way. It is time to end this video here, and we'll talk about other mistakes of the theory of functions of real variables in the subsequent videos.